You Pinocchio fucking knows the money, no business.
Why don't you?
Why don't you?
Why don't you take some? Why don't you grow your own?
This is not your fucking property. Go somewhere else. You go mind your own business.
And on that note, welcome back. Those welcoming words from a beautiful in Iowa whose video went viral earlier. Andy, are you with me?
Sure. I don't like Rhubarb Lady, but I understand that you do, so
Who would like her? She's not a person.
I don't like the video. It's overplayed.
It's not overplayed. It's never got a million.
You play it all the time. I'm counting it as overplayed.
I used to it all the time. It's been like a month.
Well, in fairness, I haven't seen you in a month, so overplayed.
It's really been a month?
Probably almost, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Fucking Toledo. Why you gotta go there? I don't know.
Ann Arbor, man, why you gotta go there?
Maybe I should. Maybe that should be where I get my 4-year degree.
Toledo.
Yeah, I can go work in Toledo. I don't know, and live there. I can be you and Hannah's third. I'm sure we'd all love that.
That'd be. I mean, I'd be okay with that, I guess.
No, you wouldn't.
You don't think?
There, you guys would get annoyed with me, or I'd get annoyed with you guys. I don't know.
Better you than some weirdo.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's time for my top 5.
Oh.
And from my number...
Where's your bottom 5?
I guess it would be my... Well, top 5 is in the top annoyings.
Okay.
As far as annoyingness goes, these songs top it!
Okay.
For 2013, I give you at number 5. We're going to country music. You didn't have any country on your list.
Nope.
Country should not have backgrounds like that, for one thing. That's not country. This is country rap.
Modern country.
Country and rap are not supposed to mix. I think this song was meant to be funny. I think this song is meant to be funny, though.
You didn't get that?
It better be. I got that like halfway through, but I was already committed to it being on my list.
Well, the boys around here don't listen.
Well, I don't think that changes it.
Through a jukebox needle at the honky tonk, where their boots on all night. What? Yeah, what they call work, digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground for the income now to get paid.
But yeah, it's just Blake Shelton's music is all kind of like that. He's the country. Oh,
was he from
chorus?
Drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot it back and shoot it back and shoot it back to spin.
So yeah,
Is he trying to just? Does he have a checklist of just every country
stereotype?
and he's just going down the list and just going, "Yep, got trucks. Yep, got." Dirt,
I mean, there are other funny country songs out there. Like there was one by I forget the name of the guy, but it was a song called "Upper Middle Class White Trash," where he talks about winning the lottery.
Okay.
Things about winning the lottery, and that's kind of funny. Because they basically live the white trash lifestyle, but they bought a bigger house. But they never changed who they were. And it was kind of funny. Toby Keith had a song, like, 12 years ago called I Want to Talk About Me, where he just
I remember that song.
Where he raps about his girlfriend who won't talk about anything but herself, and he's saying, well, every once in a while, I'd like to talk about myself because I'm part of this too. It's a funny music video. It's catchy.
Yeah.
Way better than this song. So, I'm not a complete hater of fun songs. This song's just obnoxious.
Dopey fun.
Verse 2 is the worst part, though. Let's get to verse 2.
Okay.
Red. Not a big fan of Blake Shelton's
The
work.
video is kind of funny, too.
Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that yawning southern drawl and just can't help.
See, country's not always about gentlemen, too. They're perverted. They're in their own white bread way.
They're clean. What did he say? Southern Crystal? I don't know. Every time he says
This
that.
is penis.
I know, but it always makes me think of crystal meth.
But here's the funny thing about country, okay? Like, Hank Williams Jr. had a whole thing with Kid Rock when Kid Rock was going country, where they had this whole gag-type bit song where it's like, oh, here's the thing, Kid Rock, you could be a good country singer, but in country you just can't say the F word. That's a forbidden word in country music.
And then he proceeds to say the F word.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But he kept saying it as, like, the F word. And it's just like, dude, you're singing about the same subject matter. You're just sugarcoating it a little more and trying to sound more gentlemanly.
Well, yeah. Trying to sound more gentlemanly. How much older was he?
Who, Hank Williams
Yeah.
Jr.? Oh, he was born in, like, the late 40s.
Yeah. So, I mean...
And this was in the early 2000s, so he was in his 50s, early 50s.
50s?
He was born... This happened, in, like, 10 years ago.
Okay.
We've gotten old, Andy.
So it would seem.
Well, I have. You still can't purchase alcohol legally. Not that you want to.
I'm just saying, being old and gentlemanly is kind of his only move.
He still refuses to take my... I've offered him drinks. He doesn't want to drink on air like me.
I don't want to turn you into a criminal.
Many of my other friends don't care. No, but... So what do you think of that song?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of country in general. So most of that song, I was like, whatever. It's country. You're not selling me one way or another. But chew tobacco, spit. That alone.
You're insulting yourself at that point. You're making fun of yourself.
That alone earned it a spot on your list. Forget about everything else that happened. That. Right there.
But you still wouldn't put it on your top 5, obviously, because it's through your top 5.
Yeah.
And that's your story, and you're sticking to it.
Haha.
And I'm a country fan, but I did not care for that. Now, number 4.
Oh, you had to go there.
Macklemore gets 2 songs in my top 5. This is number 4.
But I like this song.
And I like Royals. Your point? It's obnoxious. Then you've got the homeless bum sax going.
It's not a homeless bum sax.
It sounds like a street musician.
Maybe it's supposed to.
Well, it's just like, okay, there was this obnoxious guy who auditioned for America's Got Talent one time, and he, like, played some kind of trumpet thing that sounded like this, and he just had this obnoxious
some kind of
voice.
Trumpet thing?
I don't know what the fuck it was, okay? I don't do band.
Okay.
But it was not a sax, it was smaller. It was like a horn. And he would, like, put the horn in his mouth, then he'd sing obnoxiously in some raspy homeless bum voice. And it was just this fun little thing. He was getting the crowd to stand up, and he totally sucked. But because he was catchy, he got 2 yeses. Only Piers Morgan rejected him.
Okay.
So when I hear this, I just think of that dude. The song's just ridiculous. It's another joke song.
I know. It's a brilliant joke song.
I don't like joke songs.
It's funny. It's funny and it's catchy at the same time.
Are you laughing right now? Listen to the song and laugh.
It's not a laugh out loud kind of song.
You said it's funny.
I don't laugh out loud at Weird Al, okay? I don't.
How do you enjoy it?
There's
Weird
a
Al
difference
sucks.
between enjoying it, acknowledging that it's funny, and laughing out loud.
It's annoying.
Fun.
It's annoying.
It's fun.
I'm fun. This is annoying.
You're annoying.
Can I hand it down? I go to thrift shop.
I have to admit, this song grew on me a little bit. I didn't get it at first.
I never got you at first.
That's fine. Because we're friends now.
I think we lost our listener who was giving feedback. She saw your list and not mine. But I know her, so I'm going to have to tell her my top 5 when I see her.
Either that or your list is just so boring that she's not really paying attention.
My list is better than your list.
Yeah, right.
You sound like
anyone could ever know that.
Ooh, we have chat service. Oh, she's still here. It's like making fun of songs that usually rap about having $2 million houses or cars, and here Macklemore's rapping about buying sheets that smell like pee. So she sees the humor in it.
Thank you.
Okay. Confession. Here's my confession, okay?
Oh.
I needed one more song to crack the top 5 before we did this, and it just sounded stupid to me, so I put it on the list. And I'm making an argument.
You've told me before that you don't like it.
I have?
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so it's not completely out of left field.
According to Justin, who's done shows with me before, I've heard, when I didn't think I heard the song, he said that I complained about it when we were at Applebee's. But I thought that the song that I heard was more repetitive than this. Where they just kept talking about, let's go to a thrift shop. I don't think he says that too much in this song. Or maybe he does, I don't know.
No, he actually only really says thrift shop like a couple times, maybe.
You ever shop in thrift shops?
Oh, yeah.
With your grandparents?
Grandparents, no.
You go on your own?
Sometimes.
You know, we used to have...
I got Christmas presents at Goodwill this year.
You cheap bastard. Does your girlfriend know this?
Yes, because it was... I made her this year.
Yes, he has a girlfriend. This guy has a girlfriend. This cheap bastard has a girlfriend.
I made her a clock out of an old record, but I didn't want to spend money on the record, so I went to Goodwill. I went to Goodwill and got 10-cent records for this project.
It was a cool looking design.
It was.
Hell, I'd order one of my own. It's kind of cool.
And that's what counts. It was
Shit, he's
thoughtful,
probably
it was
gonna
handmade.
get me that now. He still hasn't gotten me anything yet.
It was thoughtful, it was handmade, it was cool, and the record part of it was only 10 cents. The clock motor was a little bit
Liz
more.
thinks that your gift is cute. She would know. She has a boyfriend. They've been together for like a year now, so they're a legitimate relationship, just like you.
Well, thank you for deeming me legitimate.
I've never met him, but he seems like a nice guy. Probably not as nice as you, though, Andy. No one can be as nice as you.
Oh, thank you. I'm very proud of being a nice person.
This is fucking awesome.
It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
intricate or elaborate or thoughtful.
We just spent 12 and a half minutes on just the first 2 of my list. Luckily, we already went through number 3.
Exactly. You've got 4 songs to deal with, and you spent slightly less than half the time on 2 of your 4 songs. I think we're on track. I think we're doing okay.
Yeah. We're going to go to the world of alternative, quote-unquote, rock. Because these sure as hell don't sound like rock songs to me, these next 2. We're going to listen to number 2, and we're going to listen to these songs in their entirety. With little thoughts, okay?
Are we allowed to talk over this, or are you going to mute me?
At times. I'll let you know. I'm guiding this conversation like a good host. Here's song number 2. By 21 Pilots, called Holding On To You. I never knew what it was called for the longest time, but I know that I hated it. Because it's one of those songs that's like a million different things at once. Parts of it are good. Parts completely sabotage it. Here's the beginning, which is mildly annoying. Anyways. At this point, we can still talk.
Oh, that's good.
Because he hasn't started singing yet. But the beginning will come up soon. He's talking about random shit now. Gibberish. He's doing an Eminem impersonation and it's terrible.
I don't think it's an Eminem impersonation.
Nasal white guy. That's what Eminem is. Nasal white guy with rhythm.
I don't even know about nasal. I think nasal describes a lot of singers. A lot of vocalists.
Then what does this mean? This is random. This is the least annoying thing. One of them, anyway.
I think if every white guy who tries to rap...
White guys shouldn't rap, in a lot of cases.
If they can pull it off, good for them.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there are black country singers, too.
They used to say white guys shouldn't do rock and roll. That's race music.
White people music sucked back then. In the 50s.
Well, says you.
In my opinion, yeah, you're right. Well, okay, not all of it, but rock and roll's the best.
Well, clearly, since it's
More
stuck
rapping.
around.
What's he doing now? Probably happens at night, right? Force a rhyme. Just so many words at once.
So much happening.
But people like it.
Oh, I know. I know people who like these guys.
Yeah, me too.
I know people who love these guys.
Here's the good part. Here he proves that he can kind of sing. I miss singing. Like, I'll try to sing in the shower now, my voice will just crack on even remotely high notes. But I did tenor in college.
You're out of shape?
Yeah. Nice build-up. This is really cool. But the worst part comes after this. He just totally ruins the song and it goes south. I'm gonna mute now.
Lean with it, rock with it, when we gonna stop with it? Lyrics that mean nothing, we were gifted with thought. Is it time to move our feet to an introspective beat? It ain't the speakers that bump hearts, it's our hearts.
Lean with it, rock with it. There was a rap song called that. It just, oh, here's this cool build-up about music, and now just
Nothing.
lean with it, rock with it. Here's my obnoxious white guy rapping. Might as well finish it.
Make a beat. Lean with it, rock with it, when we gonna stop with it? Lyrics that mean nothing, we were gifted with thought. Is it time to move our feet to an introspective beat? It ain't the speakers that bump hearts, it's our hearts that make a beat. Lean with it, rock with it, when we gonna stop with it? Lyrics that mean nothing, we were gifted with thought. Is it time to move our feet to an introspective beat? It ain't the speakers that bump hearts, it's our hearts that make a beat. Lean with it, rock with it, when we gonna stop with it? Lyrics that mean nothing, we were gifted with thought. Is it time to
Well, see, now it's a different build.
Now it goes back to the beginning.
Yeah, but see, now they're layering everything. I like songs that can do this, where at the end, the big reveal is that all the pieces all fit together, and it builds to something.
And then it's over. So you like that song?
Kinda, yeah.
Would you like it if you heard it like 5 times in a row
Well,
on repeat?
no.
Here's
but-
my number 1. I'm gonna try to stomach this song. This song is another alternative, quote-unquote, rock song. This one's a little too poppy for my taste. And the music video is really annoying because it has a bunch of smiling little children, clapping and dancing along to the rhythm of Harlem! And no, this is not Harlem Shake. This is
Aw,
Harlem
too
by
bad.
New Politics. The worst song of 2013. By at least 10 miles.
At least?
Just the way it begins. Just... too many children. Just makes me think of children. And I don't like children. Too bad most women want children.
Why? Because you hate children?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
some of them. Here's the worst part right here. That melody! Worst melody of all time! That's what I heard.
And again, I I'm gonna have to slightly disagree with you in that I don't really like the song, but I think it's annoying at worst. It's a dumb song. It's another in a grand tradition of mediocre songs that I don't really care for, but that apparently the rest of the world does because someone still listens to this stuff. Do I hate it? No. Would I go out of my way for it? No.
The money in my... This is what music is becoming in some cases. This is very 2010s. I don't know about you, but I'm actually starting to notice a distinguishable difference between this decade and the last, as far as music goes.
Change happens.
Well, I'm glad, though, in some ways. This is just the bad side of it. But the 2000s, remember when we were in the 2000s, we just probably thought, oh, this is just bland, whatever, modern music. It's all going to sound the same from here on out.
No. No.
Do you notice differences between the 10s and now?
I've noticed
the 10s and the 2000s?
What I've been doing recently is I've been, like, re-listening to, essentially... Okay.
Bad again. Oh, and now, he's gonna go down the octave. Here's a formula that modern rock bands do all the time now. They think that their song is fun and has changed it up because they'll just, instead of getting creative with more words, they'll just repeat the same words, but oh, guess what? We're gonna either go down the octave or up the octave, depending on what we're trying to do with the suspense. What does it mean?
Don't look at me, I don't know what he's trying to say.
Rhetorical. One more time.
It's stupid, but it's not virulently horrible.
I hate it. I change the station on it every time. We're done.
Okay. Okay. So, differences between past decade and this decade.
Yeah.
Changes in music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've started to really be able to nail down the last decade's sound. I've been doing a lot of, like, listening to older rock bands like Rush or Metallica or AC/DC that continue on into the 2000s, and what changes when they go into the 2000s.
They don't change that much. The old bands stick with their sound, in some cases.
The old bands update their sound.
Okay.
The old bands try to be something different, and usually, in 2000s, it got a lot rougher, it got a lot grittier. But
and then in the 10s they kind of popped it up.
But the production also kind of got more intricate from what I've... In my experience, in my...
Keep rambling, I'm pouring booze.
I don't know. Like, when I was, experiencing Rush, I started with the old stuff, started with the classics, your 2112s and whatever, and then I skipped the 80s, I skipped the 90s, I jumped straight to the 2000s stuff. And it was jarring. It almost didn't sound like the same band. And, and you listen to it, and you start to explore more, and the core is still there. But the production is greatly evolved with the times. Same thing with Metallica. You listen to Death Magnetic. That
album kind of sucks. I liked it for like a year.
They went into the studio.
Better than Saint Anger, though.
They went into the studio with the express purpose of writing Master of Puppets Part 2.
I can kind of get that with some of their songs.
That was the whole goal. That was what the producer told them to focus on. That's what they went for. And they stand by that. But it's not the same. It's the volume's been cranked. There's no subtlety. It's a lot of just in your face, raw emotion. Gritty distorted guitars, gritty blown out drums, no bass, but that's Metallica.
Nice.
So that's the last decade. I don't know about this decade. I don't know.
I remember Death Magnetic was used as weightlifting music in my gym class my sophomore year.
Oh yeah?
I liked it because it was a nice break from the mainstream stuff that was sometimes happen. So when Mensing turned on the Metallica, I'll admit I was very happy about it. It made me want to do better on my squats.
Yeah, squats.
Oh, fun stuff.
So, what do you think is this decade's sound? What's your...
They are incorporating a lot more technologically dancey type stuff. The alternative and rock groups of this band are trying to be...
This decade?
I'm talking starting 2010. The 10s.
Okay.
Because, in the 2000s, let me put it this way. You look at the mainstream Hot 100. In the 2000s, pretty much everyone who made number one on the Billboard Hot 100s were pop artists and rapish hip-hop artists. You didn't see alternative rock groups make number one. Hardly ever. But in this decade, go TA, somebody that I used to know. Number one, Funds We Are Young. Royals by Lorde, which is also played on the alternative stations. What's the difference between those artists and bands from the 2000s?
You're gonna argue that it's dancier.
It is. It's more technologically. It's more pop friendly. It's more mainstream friendly.
So you would also argue more electronic kind
Yes.
of influences coming in on that?
Because they are tired of school dances only playing hip-hop and pop. They lost the youth as far as the mainstream youth. They are trying to get a more mainstream audience again so rock can become more popular like it was before disco.
Okay.
Or in the grunge era. They're trying to take a more aggressive mainstream stance as opposed to the backseat that they were in.
Okay. I like this narrative that you tell.
That was basically my narrative.
Okay.
But you buy it? It makes sense to you?
More or less,
I'm talking about the most popular groups.
I know.
There's some things that still won't change. Coldplay's, they were a 2000s band. They're a 10s band. Although I will say that their music they do now is a little more upbeat, less boring.
Okay.
We just have a little less than 3 minutes.
I know. I'm trying to...
Well, while you think about it, let me just do a little bit of a tease for what's left to come. Because us radio people do that.
What did Green Day ever top?
Green
American
Day
Idiot?
Green Day has sucked since American Idiot.
But did American Idiot, was that just trying to think of ways to disprove you? Did that hit number one?
They did get poppier. Green Day did.
But not dancier. You're arguing electronic and dancey, which... Crap, they totally did that. They went there recently, never mind. Okay.
So coming up, we got 2 minutes left. Coming up in part 4. New Year's resolutions.
Oh, jeez.
What the hell's the point? What's the deal with those? Are they healthy? Are they unhealthy? Are they neutral? What kind of New Year's resolutions have you made in the past? What kind have I made in the past? What kinds of friends made on my behalf suggesting would happen to me but never did?
Ty, you should really go to the gym more often.
I had a gym membership for a little while, and it's funny, I can afford it again. I still haven't gotten back to it, but I subscribed to Netflix.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's productive.
Opposite
I get
direction.
it. Hey, on those days that they schedule me to push carts, that's my exercise. But on
That's what I keep telling myself is, I work a manual labor job. I don't need to go running. I don't need to...
And then in part 5, our favorite segment of all, where we go to Yahoo Answers and give advice to those who just didn't ask us in the segment we call Shut Up!
Nobody asked you.
Yes, exactly. All that, and whatever the hell else we decide we want to do, we have an hour left. 2 more half-hour segments. Yeah, it's a lot of
I'm
us. We're going into midnight.
That's okay. It's only a weekday. You're awake.
Yeah. And if
You know
not,
you're
it's
awake.
podcast. You can listen later. So don't go away. I'm just going to go to the bathroom.
Don't
We'll be
make that
back in
face
like...
Don't make that face at them. They're loyal listeners.
What face? They can't see me.
But I can.
No one cares about what you can see. But anyway, we're going to be back in part 4. I'm just going to take a bathroom break. We'll be back in like, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Something like that.
Something like that. Do. And we just got a long-ass chat message by some random person who wants to advertise. It's a generic message.
7, 6.
Cut off!